Welcome to the semi-final stage of SPAC Bible Championship. First of all, I want to congratulate the 4 departments that have made it to this round. The Ushering department, the Vanguard company, the Women's Fellowship, and the Media and Technical department. Congratulations to you all, and I wish you the very best in the remaining stages of this competition. And it is with great pleasure today that I welcome 2 out of these 4 departments as they battle it out with questions from the book of Nehemiah to determine who advances to the finals. In case you are not familiar, SPAC Bible Championship is a Bible quiz competition that started 5 months ago, where departments within the church have participated in a series of knockout stages with questions taken from whichever book of the Bible we are reading together as a church for that month, all to determine which department will be the champion. And now it is time to welcome our participant of today.
Minister Olayinka Ayinla, representing the Ushering department.
This is Pastor Shodaide Michael. I'm here to represent the Vanguard company.
My name is Adeniji Abidemi, and I'm here to represent the Ushering department.
My name is Pastor Arulogun Oluwatimileyin, representing the Vanguard company.
And diving right in, let's have the first participant from the Ushering department. Remember, the stakes are high right now, not to mount any pressure, but you won against the Nehemiah department to get to this level. And now, all eyes are on you to see how you will make your department proud. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. So let me ask, are you ready?
I am ready.
Can I have more excitement? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And your time starts now. In which Persian city was Nehemiah serving the
Susan.
king? Correct. What was Nehemiah's job in Persia?
Obiora.
Correct. Which king granted Nehemiah permission to?
Artaxerxes.
Correct. Who brought news about Jerusalem's condition?
Hanani.
Correct. Who repaired the dung gate during the rebuilding of the wall?
Eliashib.
Wrong. How long did it take to rebuild the wall?
52 days.
Correct. What month did Nehemiah speak to the king?
Nisan.
Correct. What was Nehemiah afraid of before speaking to the king?
Sad face.
Correct. Who gave Nehemiah letters for safe passage?
King Artaxerxes.
Correct. What did Nehemiah inspect at night?
Wall and the
Correct. Who rebuilt the sheep gate?
Eliashib.
Correct. What weapon did the builders carry?
Pass.
Pass. What did some builders hold in one hand while working?
Weapons.
Correct. Who plotted to attack Jerusalem secretly?
Sanballat and Tobiah.
Correct. What did Nehemiah do first when he heard about Jerusalem?
He prayed.
Correct. What gate did Nehemiah inspect first during his night?
Valley gate.
Correct. What gate was located near the king's pool?
Pass.
Pass. Who tried to lure Nehemiah into the temple?
Sanballat.
Wrong. And that is the end of your time. That was a truly spectacular start from the Ushering department. But there is still so much more to see in this competition before we determine who advances to the finals. Up next, we have the first participant from the Vanguard company. And so, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And your time starts now. What promise did the people make about the Sabbath?
Not to be selling and buying.
Correct. What financial commitment did the people make yearly?
Year by year, they will be paying their tithe and offering.
Wrong. What was the purpose of the wood offering?
Wood offering to burn at the altar.
Correct. What portion of the people moved to live in Jerusalem?
1%. 1 out of 10.
Correct. What was Jerusalem called in Nehemiah chapter 11?
Jerusalem. Pass.
Pass. Who led the dedication of the wall with thanksgiving?
With thanksgiving. The Levites.
Wrong. What musical instruments were used at the dedication?
Cymbals.
Correct. Who were appointed over the storerooms?
Storerooms. The treasurers. Shelemiah.
Wrong. Who was found living in a room in the temple courts?
Tobiah.
Correct. What had been neglected in the temple?
Temple. Pass.
Pass. What day was being violated by merchants?
Sabbath.
Correct. What did Nehemiah do to enforce the Sabbath?
They chased them away.
Wrong. And that is the end of your time. That wasn't a bad start at all for the Vanguard company. But there is still so much for us to find out as this competition progresses. And now we have the second participants from the Ushering department. So let me ask, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
I want to see more excitement. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
And your time starts now. Why did Nehemiah refuse to hide in the temple?
Pass.
Pass. What false prophetess opposed Nehemiah?
Artaxerxes.
Wrong. What happened when the wall was finished?
They praised God.
Wrong. Who was appointed to help govern Jerusalem?
Artaxerxes.
Wrong. Who was the scribe that read the law?
Ezra.
Correct. What feast was celebrated after reading the law?
They celebrate the God.
Wrong. What did people do when they heard the law?
They are sad.
Correct. What did Nehemiah tell the people instead of mourning?
They should rejoice.
Correct. What phrase describes Nehemiah's strength?
God.
Wrong. How long did the Feast of Tabernacles last?
Pass.
Pass. What did the people build during the feast?
Pass.
Pass. What did the Levites explain to the people?
Pass.
Pass. How long did the people fast in Nehemiah chapter 9?
1.
And that is the end of your time. Let's move straight ahead to the last participant of today, who is the second participant from the Vanguard company. So, Pastor Timmy, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
And your time starts now. Who had married the daughter of Shambalat?
Pass.
Pass. What did Nehemiah do to those who intermarried?
He rebuked them.
Correct. Who was high priest during Nehemiah's time?
Eliashib.
Correct. What was Nehemiah's reaction to injustice?
Pass.
Pass. What did Nehemiah shake out from his garment?
Robe. His robe.
Correct. What gate did the goldsmith repair?
Sheep gate.
Wrong. What sound warned of attack?
Pass.
Pass. Who inspired the rebuilding effort?
Nehemiah.
Correct. What was Nehemiah's main goal?
To rebuild Jerusalem.
Correct. Where did the enemies invite Nehemiah to meet?
Honor.
Correct. Where did the choirs walk during the dedication?
On the streets. On the road. By the city.
Wrong. What did the people separate themselves from?
Pass.
Pass. What book was read to the people?
Law of Moses.
Correct. What did Nehemiah ask God to remember?
Is doing his work.
Correct. Who feared the Lord after the wall was finished?
Pass.
Pass. What did Nehemiah set up at the gates?
Pass.
Pass. What did Nehemiah request from the king besides permission?
Get letter.
Wrong. And that is the end of your time. And now to the announcement of results. Remember, whoever wins this particular round will advance to the final against whoever wins the next semi-final round next week. So the stakes are high and the tension is even higher. After that intense round, the ushering department had a total of 17 points. 17 points for the ushering department. That was spectacular. Can we applaud? We can do better. We can do it better. I'm sure the ushering department is proud of themselves right now. Come on, you can do that better. We can do it better. And now moving on to the scores for the Vanguard company. Once again, can I say that the participants have done us all proud. They have come to the studio to represent their respective departments, something that I know must not have been easy, but they braved it out, read the scriptures, and they have done us all very proud. And the Vanguard company had a total of... Do you want to guess? The Vanguard company had a total of 14 points. 14 points. The Vanguard company, 14 points, while the ushering department had 17 points. And that means that the ushering department has successfully advanced to the final stage.